Hello and welcome to another Royal Reviewer live pop-up chat. And today we are going to be speaking about, we know Justin Trudeau, the Canadian Prime Minister, has obviously said that Harry and Meghan were in Canada for Christmas. The palace themselves have confirmed that Harry and Meghan and Archie were spending Christmas in Canada, but the press has obviously gone one further and actually revealed the actual location of where Harry and Meghan were spending their Christmas holiday. Now, of course, they've gone with a negative narrative, as they do, by calling it their hideaway and using lots of negative words, but we don't need to look at those kinds of words. Now, obviously, we do not know at present whether or not they are necessarily still there, although I'm not sure how old the pictures are that have come out. So obviously this is, it's news everywhere now. So there are a series of photographs of police protection officers spotted outside of a property, which is actually in Vancouver. It's a millionaire's mansion. It is said to be owned by a businessman who is unknown at the moment, or rather, it could be a business person. It could be female. So I don't know who the owners are. I'm imagining that the press probably do know who the owner is, but I think for privacy reasons they're probably not disclosing at the moment. So there are photographs of known police protection officers outside of this property. Like I say, I'm not entirely sure how old or how recent those photographs are. So, are they still there at the moment? I'm not entirely sure. So, I will share the link to what I have seen, and obviously you can choose to look at it or not. It is entirely up to you. But like I say, these photographs are out there now. So it's one of those things. Once the cat is out of the bag, it's out of the bag. I'm just trying to refresh so I can copy and link. Right, why can I not copy and paste this? Bear with 1 second while I try and copy and paste it. Okay. Why is it not doing it? Okay. Bear with me a second. I'm going to have to go out of it and back into it. So there we go. Right. Okay, I can now do it. For some reason it wouldn't let me do it before. Okay. Oh, and also I need to go into the chat room, don't I? Because if I don't go into the chat room, I will not see who is there. By the way, I hope you all had an amazing Boxing Day. I did, and yeah, I've had a really good day today as well. Here we are. I'm here, and I can post it now. The wonders of being live. Okay, there it goes. Da-da, da-da. Right, let's see who is in. I know we have 209 people watching right now. I've just shared the link. You can choose to click on it or not. Jan Williams says, I want to know how much money was paid to get those photos of Pippa and Carol Middleton. Well, yes, there were photographs of Pippa and Carol Middleton on holiday, and of course lots of attention and focus was placed on their bodies, as often is. Hey, it still goes on, doesn't it? Arnold Sanders says, I hate the British media. Like I say, I don't know. I don't know if Harry, Meghan and Archie are still there. It may be that they're not there, and that's why the press has kind of, said exactly where this mansion is. Like I say, they've gone for the narrative of it being a hideaway. They've tried to be very negative with it. But I think what gave the game away, I think locals actually noticed that there were different things happening to the property. So they noticed protection fences going up, barriers going up, screens being put on the gates, that kind of thing. So the locals knew something was up. Also, they spotted, they are said to have said that they spotted Harry and Meghan going for walks and that kind of thing. My man says, oh, Daily Mail, surprise, surprise. Well, yes, I can agree. Lady Buckingham says, I knew they were not in Toronto. And Karen says, I hear that Harry and Meghan will be starting a magazine. No, Okay, what's happened? I was going to make a separate video on this tomorrow, but Sussex Royal, Harry and Meghan, the foundation of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, have they've tried to copyright or patent their intellectual name. So what's happened is they've selected a lot of different categories, which include things like magazines and stationery and charitable uses and stuff like that. So they want to protect their name against a whole range of different things. It doesn't mean they're going to start their own magazine. It just means that somebody else wanting to start a magazine called Sussex Royal or a newspaper called Sussex Royal can't do that if the patent goes through. So what they're basically doing is just protecting their name for use across a whole wide range of things. That probably includes even more things that wasn't even mentioned. So no, it doesn't mean they're going to start their own newspaper or magazine. It just means that someone else, hopefully, if it all goes through, won't be able to do something in their name, pretending to be them, if you know what I mean. To try and make money off their back, obviously. Lady Meghan says, it's a small place on the Vancouver Island. It is indeed. Right, I'm going to quickly go to the article. I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to go through all of it. It obviously goes into great detail about how much it costs and its recent purchase history. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying. But it does show a photograph. It appears to be on a kind of rocky cliff edge, I should say. It looks a very nice place to spend Christmas. It looks very secluded. It looks very peaceful. I can see perfectly well why it would have been chosen. Like I say, we don't know who the owner is. We don't know the association between the owner and Harry and Meghan. But it looks a beautiful place to spend Christmas with the mother-in-law, Doria, of course. If you're Harry. It shows some internal pictures from when it was last sold, I do believe. A very nice, classy interior, I have to say. Although we don't know what it looks like today. Things could have been changed. But I do believe it was sold with furnishings. So many of the furnishings could still be in there. You can see the fences that were put up, the metal fences. On the gates, you can see the kind of screening that was put up, obviously for privacy. There are bins, bins blocking the gates. You can, if you scroll down even more, you can see a photograph of what looks to be a police protection officer in plain clothes behind the glass. Not behind the glass, behind the some kind of metal railings through a hedge or that kind of thing. Let me just see. Yes, so the photograph, key point, the photograph is actually copyrighted by somebody working for the Daily Mail. So what I think's probably happened is Daily Mail have found out that Harry and Meghan were sighted here in this location, probably from the locals who may have sold a story to the Daily Mail. They, I think, have very, very quickly sent out a photographer, or they've contacted someone in the area who they have drafted to take a photograph for them. So this photograph is owned by them. It's not copyrighted by someone else and sent to them. It's copyrighted this person's name for the Daily Mail. So it's definitely something they've tried to do themselves, I think, off their own back. Again, it shows more photographs of the area, blah blah blah, and I'm not going to read the article, but it basically just reveals where they have been or where they currently are still, and that's kind of the story. My Magical says they are not stupid. They know how some people are motivated by money and have taken steps to protect the work that they do on behalf of the British royal family, and I agree, it is an entirely sensible move. Yeah, so it's just a normal step. So there isn't any big story with all of the trademarking of different things. It's just what normally goes on. Although that's not to say they might put something out in the future. Who knows? There we go. Right, okay. I am now going to move on to the next story. And the reason why I'm moving on so quick is because I'm having trouble with my phone. It's at the point now where it won't actually charge up. So I'm on 25% battery drastically dwindling. So I need to get a bit of a move on. So basically, I need to buy a new phone. Because I can't have it keep cutting out. I need to be able to charge my phone. So I'm now going to move on to my second story, which is an open letter from the Duchess of Cambridge to midwives. Now, we had kind of an announcement that there were going to be announcements regarding the Duchess of Cambridge's work and Prince William's work over the Christmas festive period. And this obviously is one of them. For the Duchess, it comes as no surprise the area of the work that it's in. So I'm just going to read the open letter. So this is from the official royal family website. And it says, ahead of 2020's International Year of the Nurse and Midwife, the Duchess of Cambridge has written an open letter to midwives across the country. And there are some photographs as well. Obviously, we see Catherine with some midwives where she spent some time working. So, Catherine says, Dear midwives, next year the world turns its attention to the International Year of the Nurse and Midwife, and recognising and celebrating the humbling work that you and your colleagues do day in, day out, to improve the lives of others. You are there for women at their most vulnerable. You witness strength, pain and unimaginable joy on a daily basis. Your work often goes on behind the scenes and away from the spotlight. Recently, however, I was privileged enough to witness a small section of it firsthand, spending several days at Kingston Hospital's maternity unit. Although this was not my first encounter with the care and kindness provided by midwives across the country, it gave me a broader insight into the true impact you have on everybody you help. Over the last few years, I've dedicated a significant amount of my work to the early years, the pivotal period of development between pregnancy and the age of 5, where children build crucial foundations for life. Your role in supporting this critical phase of development extends far beyond the complicated task of delivering a baby successfully. The help and reassurance you provide for parents-to-be and parents of newborns is just as crucial. It goes a long way in building parents' confidence from the start, with lifelong impact on the future happiness of their children. The early years are more critical for future health and happiness than any other moment in our lifetime. Even before we are born, our mother's emotional and physical health directly influences our development, and by the age of 5, a child's brain has developed to go to 90% of its adult size. Your role at the very start of this period is therefore of fundamental importance. During my time at Kingston, I accompanied community midwives on their daily rounds and was welcomed into people's homes. I was truly touched by the trust that people placed in me, sharing their experience and voicing their fears openly. I also spent time in hospital clinics and on postnatal wards. No matter the setting, I was continually struck by the compassion that those of you I spent time with showed, and the incredible work ethic you demonstrated on behalf of your entire profession, not only performing your rounds, but working tirelessly through the night to support people that were at their most vulnerable. The founder of modern nursing, Florence Nightingale, whose 200th anniversary we celebrate next year, that's a big one, once said, I attribute my success to this. I never have or took an excuse. And it is that mantra that I have seen time and time again in all of my encounters with you. You don't ask for praise or for recognition, but instead unwaveringly continue your amazing work, bringing new life into our world. You continue to demonstrate that despite your technical mastery of the advancement of modern medicine, it is the human-to-human relationship and simple acts of kindness that sometimes mean the most. So, as we look ahead to next year, I want to thank you for all that you do. It has been a real privilege learning from you so far, and I look forward to meeting and learning from even more of you in the coming years and decades. Signed, Catherine. So there we have it. The Duchess's open letter in full. And obviously, like I say, it comes as no surprise what kind of this announcement was. We knew that she had spent some time working in a hospital with midwives, and as we know, it's going to be the year of the midwives next year, and a big anniversary. So that was one of the big announcements. I think there might be others. There's something coming up to do with Prince William, the Duke of Cambridge, that we don't know anything about yet, so expect more announcements as they come. Coffee or Tea says, too bad Catherine didn't bring this up while Meghan was pregnant and the British media was attacking her. Like I say, she has been learning over the course of years, and she was never going to use her knowledge to do anything with any individuals. This was always going to be a wider impactful thing that she wasn't going to break early. She wanted to I think learn about the whole thing before she presented it as a big fully rounded package. Jocelyn says, why don't they talk about William and Catherine? They want the attention. Who? They have. The press has reported on this story. I think we have a troll in. Let's see if we can deal with troll. Hang on. There we go. I have removed the troll. I think. Yes, I think we have removed the troll. Let's have a look up a little bit. Right, I think we are probably done. I think we are done. I think we've been invaded by a troll and we should probably go. I have read the open letter. I will probably do a lot more work on this. I was going to make a completely separate video to this anyway. So, I'm going to go before my battery cuts out. We've obviously gone through the story of where Harry, Meghan and Archie have been, or are, not quite sure, spending their Christmas holidays with Doria. And we've gone through the Duchess's open letter. So, I'm going to leave it here. If you have enjoyed this video, then please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media, and also do hit that bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. Also, do make sure you are subscribed to the channel. So, from me in Shropshire, mwah to you all, and goodbye.